Hello, I'm Tom Hignite. This is another guerrilla video, and that means no special lighting. We're not paying much attention to the sound in the background if somebody interrupts us. We're not changing or stopping or editing in anything or out anything. This is the way it is. So if this is your first one, hold on tight. You might get a little dizzy as we spin the camera around. Here comes a car background. I'll kind of step out of the way for a moment. That house behind me is a Dream 2000. We built that about 4 years ago or so. It's the same house as this house, if you look over this way just a little bit, as this one, which is obviously a contemporary version of the two-story. And when I was doing more homes out here, I get a little bored of just doing the same exterior. I've done that before, obviously. So this is a different exterior, a little bit more contemporary. We have a ranch we build all the time. I don't have one here to show you, but I wanted to do a contemporary version of it. And this is that, a contemporary version of our ranch. This is a very versatile ranch. It's called a Dream 1500, Dream 1600, Dream 1700, whatever we want to call it. It's a base chassis, and we just keep adding on different variations of it. So step over here a little bit. Let's get a good view from sort of a three-quarter side view. You see how this looks. And I think what's contemporary, peaked roofs. I wish we could do flat roofs, but subdivisions call for the peaked roofs. We're starting to get into doing some flat roofs, so stay tuned. But you can see how we've taken the brick on each corner and kind of put it on this corner, and that corner. And you see what we did with our garage doors. You can see that we don't have any vents up in the gables. That's it, up in the peaks. The sides, everything is very, very straightforward and kind of simplistic. Does that make sense? Come on over. Let's follow a little closer. This is a day when they're about 2 days away from move-in. Actually, it's a Saturday. They move in Wednesday, and we're doing our landscaping. So that's pretty much par for the course. At this time of the year, it is 85 degrees out here, and I'm wearing a sport coat. So I'll take that off when we get inside. We have a little parking spot over here. I think one of the things that I tried to do here was to come up with a version of what we could do to the front of the garage. So if you look at the front of the garage, you can see we have 3 long, tall windows. I don't want to step too much on their nice topsoil here because I'm going to be planting this. But you see the 3 long windows there and how we did the siding between them, the little bump up roof design here. This window became an item that I would reuse in the house. Kind of a almost floor to ceiling type. So you can see how, here, step on a little closer, how we've used it over here. Because what can you do to a porch? You can put posts there, right? You can put pillars there, right? Well, these are wall sections that have a window in them. And if your light is bright enough, this is an LED, at night, some of the light will shine through that window. Over here, oh, it doesn't look good to have an open house sign up here, does it? Turn it sideways. It's not quite so visual. But over here, step on around. Here, come on. Come a little closer. Let's look around this way. You can see the window from the inside. Let's see that. There's a detail on that. When I start showing you details like this, you know this might be a long video, so I'll try to speed it up a little bit. Here you see a window incorporated right next to a large window. So we've got the small window, the large window, and if you spin around in that direction, you'll see the small window, the large window, and this has been kept very simple out here. We've got the 4-inch width siding, and if you look up on the peak a little bit, you'll see we've actually changed our color a little bit, and it's a 3-inch wide. So there's the 3-inch wide and the 4-inch wide mixed together. Well, it says it's open, right? So let's go in. I'll put this back where I don't like it. Rather they put them in the house. We did, on these guerrilla videos, we go forward and we turn on the lights and things inside at least, since they're starting. Here, I'm going to step way back. You stay right at the door. I'll give you a little bit of perspective on size. Kick off my shoes on the way. There we go. Okay, this is about a 30-foot wide home and about 51, 52 feet wide in this direction. It has a little bit of an unusual shape going into the garage. So come on in. You can come in the rest of the way now. Close the door. We've done a video like this before on a similar home, Autumn Ridge 19, just down the street from here in Hartford, Wisconsin. And but it was one where we had a mattress we were unfolding out of a box, a little side avenue we took, and a little sidebar. And then we also did a Christmas tree that we took out of a box. If that rings any bells at all, it's the same home, but done with a few different variations on it. If that music's a little loud, I'll turn that down in a second. Let's go in that corner. Let's get all four corners of the great room to start things off inside here. And I will turn down the music just a little bit. Okay, now there's this room is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 27 feet wide. And one of the things that makes this house, between being a 1500, a 16, a 17, we make this house all the way up in size. Try that corner over there. We make this house all the way up in size to about 2,400 square feet. Involves how much space we put through the great room, how much we do a bump out here and there. We make a three or four bedroom design on this side. Because this house, when you come in from the front door, this is where you came in a moment ago, and I was kind of standing in that general vicinity. And we'll do the one last corner if you want to walk over there. So the big thing that makes it different is we add on some rooms, but the basic chassis of the home's the same, meaning that it has a kitchen in that general area, living room in this general area, structures out with the stairs in that general area to the basement. So there you have it. We also make this house, you may have seen some videos, where we do an upstairs on it. It's a finished attic that does away with this tall ceiling here. Okay? So you can kind of see that what we've done on the structure of this design, normally it comes with an 8-foot high back wall. We've taken this and put a 9-foot high back wall. And that makes this look, I think, dramatically more roomy. When you're vaulting up, cathedral is like this, a vault is like that, just a half of a cathedral. So this is a vaulted ceiling. You can see how this is traveling up. We did a little different paint tone there. And it has a lot of wonderful things inside that I would consider details. And details cost money, but they also are the thing that sets a house apart from being vanilla to non-vanilla. So let me show you some of those details. Now that you've kind of gotten a lay of the land, you're in the kitchen there. And we're going to start back in the foyer, okay? So walk on back to the foyer. Now as you're walking back to the foyer, let's look up here. This is a double layer of drywall, meaning that there's a little bit of a layer there, and over here, when you follow over here, we've got the box sticking out, and this is sort of forming part of the foyer. Here, come over here and just look up low at this area. I said I'd take off my coat, right? Off comes the coat. I don't think I have a hanger in the front closet. Little do I know, there is one hanger in the front closet. So I will put that there. Okay, so you see what the ceiling's doing? The ceiling's doing this sort of a square box soffit. If we were just building this very standardly, we wouldn't put in these square box going around here. But it does make a difference, I think. This is something we've never done before, just did it for this house. This is an enclosure for the pocket office. We've done the pocket office before, but usually there's no glass here. And usually there's no door here, like that. And so usually this is just an all big open square foyer. You can see the light on the top. This door was actually, if you spin around, this is the dizzy part I was talking about. If you spin around and look at that patio door is 8 feet high. And they sent us one wrong panel for it. And instead of throwing it in the dumpster or them taking it back, they said, do with it what you may. And we started designing this right on site. I said I could use this as a glass separation. So this is actually a patio door piece that is drywalled in. It'd be hard to change the glass later. So nobody hit this glass, please. You'd have to take apart drywall to do this. But I also wanted to give you good separation for privacy's sake, not only from the glass here for sound, but also for a barn door. You know what a barn door is? Barn doors are sliding barn doors. They attach to the ceiling, and instead of this door hinging, if you step back a couple of steps, instead of this door hinging, it would slide across on some tracks that would be here. It's really popular rage right now. So I wanted to use that barn door ability concept right over here. Here, step over here. You don't mind if I order you around like that, do you? Here we are. You see how this sticks out a little bit? And why that goes all the way down there? I measured so that this much here equals this much here. So if I have a barn door that I can put a track across on that piece up there, track would then allow my barn door to be slid across over to there or grabbed here and pull across here. So you could have a privacy effect in that area. So if you have a messy desk, by the way, pocket offices are sort of a new way to do a den. Not everybody needs a whole den anymore. They're sitting with their laptop on their lap on a couch. So you don't really need a den. But here you have a pocket office. Spot to make a phone call. Spot to get out of the way. And if you look in here, it has enough area here for 6 feet 2 inches because you can buy a 6-foot desk. Now I just pieced this all together. I bought a shelf kit that I was able to put up here. I bought a small desk here, some nice file cubes from Target, and here we have this was pieced together from Menards, just all pieced together like puzzles. And if you look up in the ceiling in here, let me turn off that bright light for you. There's an LED light, 800 lumens from Menards. And I did some backlighting under here. Maybe if I turn that off again, you can see it a little better. Which is nothing more than an effect of me putting a light down there that's really sort of a LED shop light. Okay? It just kind of makes things look nice. And there we have it. So sort of this small office. It's about 6 feet by 6 feet, give or take an inch or two. And coming in the front door, if you don't want people to see your messy office, you can just, a few steps that way, close the door, right here. Doors usually don't slam that closed because they form an air vacuum, but this one doesn't have an air vacuum because we have an open wall here. So you come in the front foyer. Front foyer is about 5 feet wide. And from counting my tiles, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5, 10 feet long. We come in, we have our stairs right there. We have our closet right here. We have a spot for this door to swing against right here. All practical things. We have a very nice, I think it's a beautiful light fixture here. I'll turn that light off for a sec. Boy, it's going to be a long one, isn't it, if I'm showing you light fixtures. See the little beads up in here and the chrome and the little air venting on the side, which is just for light because this is LED. It's just a beautiful fixture, about $119. Menards fixture, special order. Here we have a tile floor, ceramic tile. Here, step on down here low. Give you different camera angles, it keeps you awake. We've got a nice sort of a pattern in here. It looks like a sketch or graphite type look. And then right next to it over here, we have we've used this in other videos. This is a very popular floor. It is a high-end laminate. It has a tooth built into it or a graining built into it. It has a little V edging there, so it's much kinder for dogs and just a nice piece. We've taken home and we've created areas that we put the light switches so you can have hanging areas here for a picture, another hanging area there, another hanging area there. And as long as we're coming around here, let's not go too far before we look at some of our other detail up here. This uplight is kind of an interesting piece. Another LED light, just like the one you saw on the ceiling that was in the pocket office, pointing up. I'm doing a lot of those now. We just did a house that had 31 uplights in the great room. It really does a nice job. If you could light up the corners of your room, the rooms will feel larger and they'll be more inviting. So lighting up the corners is a good thing. Look over here. I have a little protrusion shelf which holds up this wonderful cabinet here. Dove Gray from Wellington, that's Wellborn Cabinets, excuse me. We have a light on top of there as well. So if you look at the light, these are all built-in lights. I like my homes, if possible, to be self-illuminating so that you don't have to have a lot of floor lamps and things. That makes sense. If they're self-illuminating, I just think they have a nice look to them. Notice that one light was off. I had to do that. So let's go and continue through the room. Here we have, instead of a 2x4 wall here, or instead of a railing of some sort, we sometimes have done these out of glass. You might have seen some of our other videos. But this is just a thicker wall because it has more substance to it. So if you look at it from this angle, by the way, this is black bean color. It's not quite purple, it's not quite brown. It is a really deep brown that has a tinge of purple in it, and people are really loving it. I don't know if it comes through on video. Black bean is the color from Sherwin-Williams, and they supply all the paint for the homes. So we have a nice piece of the dark, almost black, that's called coffee. And here's a 2x4 wall. You can see how this is thinner. I needed more room in there. Didn't want to sacrifice that. You can see what we're doing with the color striping. We're bringing the black bean. This is a flat wall here. But you can see how we're playing off of strong lines. So here's a strong vertical line. Oh, I should turn on my front light there, shouldn't I? But you know, you didn't go in the pocket office yet, Mr. Cameraman. So go in the pocket office, look over at me, and turn on the light behind you. And try to chew bubble gum at the same time. That will give you a lot of things to do. And ta-da, there we go, now we have some light. So this is what it would look like if you were sitting in the pocket office, because he's right by the chair. But I digress, which is nothing unusual for me. Come around this way over here. And once again, back to the colors. We've elevated up this piece of wood so it's not sitting right on top of here. Can you see that there's this little half-inch step here? I think that looks really nice. It looks a little nicer to me than just that. And it's practical too, because you can't always make the wood up here perfectly match the drywall here. If there's any inconsistencies, that makes up for it. Here we have the strong corner here, and we have another strong corner here that's following around, so we're able to use that for the color stripe to come in here. As long as there's something to, here's another strong line here, so we imitated it on both sides. Imitated? I guess that's the word. Imitated it. Okay. Back to this room here, the great room. So we're coming out of the foyer. Now you can see how, if you pull over just a little bit, you can see how I didn't pull that box soffit all the way over to here. I just think it has more interest and looks more sculptural and looks nicer, I think, to not have that closed in. There's a theme we're doing in this room. And I've told this story before, so forgive me, but again, if this is your first video. I once saw a Tommy Bahama store, or Tommy Hilfiger store at a mall. And when I looked in the mall entrance, I didn't go in the store, but I saw a big frame. And it had a huge picture of a model in black and white. And it was like a 10 by 10 frame. And it impressed me. And I thought, well, what if we took that frame effect? And that's what we've done here. It's a little bit of a trick to build this. And this is that detail thing I was talking about. But if you look at this, this is a frame. It's a three-sided frame. It comes out here. It's a 2x4 thickness. It comes over here about 7.5, 8 inches. Step around in this direction. By the way, if this home is larger in the bigger sizes, it has more space here, so you can walk through at this space as well. But anyway, there's a little bit of a, so we're picking our corners to be square, square, and then round. See how that goes with a very small round. You can get different sizes of rounds. If I move this candlestick, you can see how that shapes out. And now look at the corners up here. I'll point to it with this candlestick. And you can see how that's more difficult to build, all right? So it's more difficult to paint. I now have 3 colors. This could have just been a flat wall. And think of how that would have saved so much money. But think about something, you're going to be watching this wall a lot. By the way, this mantle is located a little bit too high. The buyer on this home opted to put it up a little higher. The original buyer, it actually sold a few times, then got unsold when people had changes in their lifestyle before it got finished. Anyway, so this mantle should have been down about here. I like TVs down a little lower than this. So if you watch this video and are building a home like this, please know that this is supposed to be down here, as if I drew a line and magically pushed it down. That way this amount of stone and this amount of stone would equal this amount of stone. And some people like the way this looks, so we might keep it that way for them, but it allows you to do a larger TV. And it allows you not to have to look up so high when you're doing that larger TV. So here we have this nice kind of a pit group circle going on. This would handle a couch. Some people put nothing here. Some people would put a sectional. Some people might put a sectional there. This is a 1,630 square foot home, so it's not a huge home. But It's what we call box-on-box design, which means you're not having hallways very minimal hallways to get from one room to another room. Each room is on each room. It's my own term called box-on-box design. We have another one of those picture frames here, and you can see that we have lighting behind this picture frame, unlike this one. We have lighting over here. We could have had lighting over the top, but there was no need. At night, it allows you to turn on the lights. You can see them over there by the framing that we did around the patio door. And you can see them over here where we did the framing strictly on top with the lights. So we're creating a theme of frame, 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 frame. 3 frames. And that backlighting, and people don't understand this, they just think it looks beautiful, and it does. It looks really nice. It doesn't get in the way of the furniture, because you can see that, here, step over here, let me show you this. I'll change places. Let me go over here. Some people say, oh, I don't want those in there. It's going to get in the way of my furniture. Well, it really doesn't, because everything is planned for furniture. This is a traditional 2-foot side table. Couches, chairs, love seats, what have you, are made 3 feet deep in using a round number. And therefore, if I make this 2 feet deep and make for this, and 3 feet for this, all I have to do is make sure that my wall there, step back a couple, I don't think anybody can see with the proximity here. If I make this only 1 foot off the wall, I can always fit an end table and 2 large pieces of furniture without needing that piece. That piece will always be out of the way. So it's furniture planning. It's not just, oh, let's see what looks good and let's do it. It has to have a sense of practicality to it, that you can use it without swearing at it when you try to place your furniture. And this is sort of the same way. We're not trying to tuck into the corner of this wall with a piece of furniture, because that wouldn't be practical. You would stay away from it. If this was going to be a couch, this would pull out. It is on our, well, I thought it was on a roller, but maybe it's not. But anyway, this piece of furniture can go to the inside of here, and if this was a full couch, it would go right to here. So we're not in the way of anything. This could be a 7.5, 8 foot long couch. It would fit right in there. You don't mind if I leave that there, do you? Okay, good. This area here could be much larger, but it's very sufficient for 3 couches. Okay? That's a pretty good thing. You might not have 3 couches. You might not want anything more than 1 couch. But if I give you 3 couch positions, and if you like to change furniture around, you have 3 spots to put your couch. Take a look over here. Step back a couple. Let's look at the kitchen. I don't have enough stools in my warehouse of this variety, so I didn't bring all 7 or 6, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 could go here. So 6 here. Let's count the 3 couches as 3 apiece. That's 9, right? 9 and 6 is 15 people seated. And let's say that over here I have another 6. So 21 people seated in a room of this size. If I push this to 8, which I could, you'd have 24 people, 23 people. Do my math here. Okay, let's look at the kitchen. We have a beautiful Kohler piece here. We have granite on the countertops, undermount sink. Works great. But step around, let's look at the practicality of how we set this up. This is a peninsula kitchen. Peninsula because it's touching a wall. Now, if you take a couple more steps back, no, keep looking in my direction, but over there. There you go. If this wall was 2 or 3 feet over this way, we build it that way, which gives you a passage through here, which means you can go completely around this, and this is no longer a peninsula. It becomes an island, all right? And this wall pushes over, and everything kind of pushes over. So we have a design that does that. So not to go into too much on that, but here we have the pantry. Now the pantry has a cheat, which I think is a great cheat. It gives you more room in the pantry. What if my wall was here and these shelves were over here? This, because it goes over the staircase, it's passing under it, it allows me to go up and give you the headroom to pass under the staircase. That's why this is up in the air like it is. So there you have it. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves, and nice light there. A little bit of extra decorating things. Over here, recycler garbage cans. Works really nice. You can take these out and see how that works as a soft close there. Has a drawer here. This is hardwood. there's different options you can get. You can get standard drawers would be particle with melamine over them. Soft close. We have the sink, you saw that. The dishwasher right here. That works pretty nice right next to there. We've got a lot of lighting in here. Did you see the track lighting over the top? Did you see the lighting underneath here? This is a spot in the presentation where I always say a lot of the things I'm showing you today are not standard features. They may be optional, but please keep in mind, like for example, these underlights are options. Colors of the cabinets are usually wood. These have some pretty neat features to them, but we won't go into every cabinet piece we have. You notice how we did change the coloring. I changed to a dark color here. This is called coffee. And the coffee color from Wellborn cabinets kind of goes with the dark color that we're using with the stainless steel and the black. Stainless steel has a lot of black components to it. We did the same over here over this appliance. We painted the black bean over the top so that this kind of becomes an appliance area. This kind of becomes an appliance area. If I had an island in the middle, which I don't have enough room in this house, but if you go to the larger versions of this house, there is enough room here. You could do a different color with that maybe in the middle. So going back in this direction, we're coming in from the garage into the room here. This would give you, here, oh, there's that air pressure again. This is the garage over here, and if we go out here, let's do this is a two-car garage, but because it's a two-car garage, it also has the ability to be a three-car garage, could be a four-car garage, could go double deep, do a lot of it, could be doors on the front if you wanted to. Take a look at the long narrow window here. Again, that design that we're incorporating. I think it looks nice from in here with these three narrow windows. They're all made out of the, you can go step in that corner over there if you would. They're all made out of the obscured glass, so you can't see through them. There you are. Well, you must be dizzy by now. So this gives you a sense of the size of the garage. The garage is a little bit deeper than normal because there's a porch out there. So in order to have a court entry garage door, you need to push this out a little further. The actual house is indented a little bit more. It's more than just this much. This garage is actually pushed, this wall, excuse me, is actually pushed into the garage a little bit. So, okay, come on around the other side. So we have windows on three sides of the garage if you count the garage door windows. And you're coming in with your groceries, you look at what a straight path that is, short path to the kitchen. In this area, this is the laundry room. We have some of this wonderful, look down at the flooring here. This is a bamboo look. This is a sheet vinyl, but it looks and it feels really authentic bamboo. It takes the water very well because it is vinyl. And if you look around, let's change position, go in that corner if you would for a minute. This is where the washer and dryer would be. You can see how this pushes into the garage. The front of the house is actually here, so this is pushing into the garage a little bit. The standard version of this house would just go straight here if you were buying the 1,400 or 1,500 square foot version of this. Countertop here. But remember on the outside we had a window here? Remember that big window next to the small window? This little wall is going in between the big and the small window. The small window is in that pocket office. I don't know if you caught that or not when you saw the pocket office. We're using obscured glass on the bottom, and this goes all the way to the floor. The dark wood to help protect your white woodwork. You've got the quarter rounds of dark, so you can scrub against it a little bit better. These are some of the different cabinet style fronts you can get from the folks over at Wellborn Cabinets. Here is a spot to hang. There are spots on both sides where you could put lockers, very popular item. This door over here is sort of a secret door. I won't show you what that's to just yet, okay? Over here, this would normally be a swinging door. It would swing in this way. But a pocket door keeps it out of the way pretty well, don't you think? So, nice wide 3-foot doors, good openings. We're transitioning here from white in here to the darker color that's in here, with the Kona color, or the coffee color rather that I call it. Let's look at the dining room. Dining room is sufficient enough to do 8 people. These are huge chairs and a fairly hefty sized table, but really large carved chairs here. And They are made to handle very large people, I suppose. We do have a hutch area here where you could put a very tall hutch, no hutch, or put a couple of chair setbacks here. This is a lighted art niche right now. It looks really nice when you come in. Love the light. Look underneath. I just think it's a pretty light. Doing a lot of silvers now with the chromes. I really think that's where it's going. I think that's where everybody's going to be traveling in the next few years. I've been using chrome for a couple of years now, and people haven't quite got there yet, so maybe they're not going there. Okay, the frame, we talked about the 8-foot high patio door. It's 6 feet wide. And let's go into this door. This door is the master bedroom. Let's go take a peek. Stand at the door there for a moment, and I will stand over here. And this gives you an idea of the size of the room. If you look at this room in the past on other videos, we've done wall insets, panels that look like raised and lowered panels all the way around the room, really fancy. We've done crown moldings, we've done all sorts of things. We're doing something different to this room that I haven't done before. And it's very similar to that little box soffit you saw in this foyer kind of sticking out and stopping. Take a look over here. Around the ceiling, instead of doing crown molding, we have a little layer of drywall here. And that little layer of drywall looks like another one of those beams, and it goes over just to this point, right over here. So you kind of see where that ends. Now I don't have it backlit here, but I wish I would have, because that would have been a nice effect. But we're spending a lot of money on our lighting as it is for a home in this price range, so we didn't do it. Here we have another item. You see the same thing. I've repeated, I've done a layer of drywall. Layer meaning there's a little ledge there. See that? So this is an extra layer of drywall over what would normally be here. And I've stopped it right here. So we're picking up the beam coming through here. If we stand over here and look here again, we're doing the same thing. So we're coming across here again with the layer, okay, and stopping right here. And you notice how I'm doing my color transitions. This is accessible beige from Sherwin-Williams. This is Grand Santan. It's a made-up color that we kind of came up with. That's our own. This is the standard white that comes in the house, which is, I think, a snow white. It doesn't sound right, but anyway. And this is Techno Gray across here. This is a good combination with the Grand Santan, the Techno Gray, and the accessible beige. So we do accessible beige here, Grand Santan here, accessible beige there. Look at the floor. We're looking at a lot of floors. Let's go down again. This is a very popular sculpted pattern. It comes in various tones. This is sort of a grayed taupe, a little bit of all the colors in the room in it. Got some of the Grand Santan, Techno Gray. And it really wears well because it's a commercial carpet. Okay, you look at the way we're doing our windows. Here we've transitioned out of the black again into the white. So we've got white windowsill, angled corner bead going out and down. Big long windows. Remember, 9-foot high back wall means we have a 9-foot high ceiling in here. If this was decorated with proper furniture, that's a queen size bed, by the way. Nice alcove for it. Details, details. Instead of going with a flat wall here, alcove it in. I think it just looks great. And it kind of compensates. Here, step in this side over here and look back at this side of the room. It kind of compensates for that alcove that was handling the hutch in the other area. This is that alcove that was handling that art niche or that hutch. So it compensates. So we still have 12 feet here. If I wanted to save money, it was a home builder that was just concentrated on that, not lifestyle or not the art of it, I'd go flat with that wall, and boy, we'd save some money. But it works for function, it works for beauty, and it just works. And we can, in the normal versions of the home, they'd be flat. You wouldn't have a hutch alcove, you wouldn't have a bed alcove. So one piggybacks on the other. Okay, this is a spot where you put your big tall dresser, assuming that you have one of those type of things. This is a spot where you could, I don't want to demand you do anything I say as far as where furnishings go, but you always have to come up with a plan at least that works. This is a 6-foot long dresser spot here. There's a spot on each side of the bed for a lamp and a side table. And this is the sconce lighting. Notice how we built in a sconce light on each side. Okay, so hence we're doing a lot with lighting. Wish I would have done the one under the top there by the bed, don't you? Okay, back over here. This is what I call a resort bathroom. Resort bathroom meaning that it's open here. If you've gone into a lot of resorts, fancy ones or not, they will have the sink area open to the main part of the bedroom. Then they'll close off just the toilet and the shower area. So that's what this is doing. And to try to invite you through, we're not just stopping the tile or hard flooring here. We're kind of going into this mini hallway area, and you can see over the top how we're coming in as well with this box beam. So let me show this to you here. We've taken the bottom here, we've done obscured glass. Now I might have gone with obscured on the top as well, but you only have to put a curtain blind on the top portion. You get all this daylight in, but you could go with obscured both ways. Here you have the towel cabinet. And look at what we did. Normally towel cabinets have a door on the top and they have a door on the bottom. In this one, we opted for 3 drawers on the bottom, 4 drawers here. Now drawers cost money, right? What is the lesser pricey way to do this? No drawers, 2 drawers instead of 7 drawers. Okay, but people love drawers. I do. This original client opted for these sinks. I don't think they look bad, and opted for these faucets. We probably would have gone a little more contemporary ourselves, but this is not bad. I mean, it's a nice faucet. They love waterfall faucets. This is a great color, I think. Let me get this plant out of the way. This is a Formica product. Now, when you look at Formica, Formica is considered an inexpensive countertop selection. But this is in their FX series. It's an F and an X. And it's a little bit pricier. It has a very long repeat pattern, every 5 feet instead of every 2 feet. And it's a little bit more, it's got the grain in it. It just looks really nice. Come on into the second part of the resort bathroom. And as you're coming in, you'll see we have some book holders, magazine holders. All you really need is an iPad holder nowadays, right? iPad. Elongated toilet, raised. This is one of those long windows that I keep referring to on the outside of the house and the inside of the house and in the garage, etc. So we're carrying that theme to the side of the house. And then we have this doorless shower. If you look down here, this is one of the more important features. We're angling this down instead of making you step over. What that means is the floor of the house had to be lowered here by 1.5 inches so that we could take this whole thing and angle it down. That's not an easy thing to do, but it really is effective. Look at these soap holders here, and over here. Believe it or not, these are about $80 a piece. So if you see that come in on a change order, don't be surprised. And I'm going to step back and just trade places with you. Okay? Now, in order to get a doorless shower, one of the more important things to do is to put your shower head so it's facing away from the opening. You can see how this is on an angle here. So it's splashing away from the opening. If you go down to the floor, you get that idea a little bit better. There you go. We kept this purposely really kind of simple in here. Didn't do a lot of the glass little tiles, which are done everywhere nowadays. And we do it too, you know, but it's, sometimes when I'm doing something, I just want to cleanse my palette and just keep things simple. That's kind of what we're doing here. And then the door, the privacy door here. So come on through again. Let's look at this room here, which feels like an entirely different room, not just a closet, which it is a closet, but yeah, isn't this big? Look at all the hanging. We could put a dresser in here. We've got double hanging here, say hanging both sides. This room is about 14 feet long. Maybe it's 13, but check a blueprint. But we've done things, again, with the detail. Take a look at this, looked at the floor here, how we cut this off. This wall is cut. It's not just a square corner here. So that, we could have kept it a square corner, but it will flow better with a cut corner. So this is that surprise door I was not telling you about before. By the way, 2 LED lights, the same kind you saw in the foyer in that pocket office. 2 of them light up the whole room. That's 1,600 looms in a room, taking up, who knows, about what a 25-watt bulb would. Very low amount of heat too, so it works great on the air conditioning system. Take a peek at what the door was. That door was an access to the laundry room. It's also a cheat door if you're having a big party and you want to get in and out from the master into the bedroom. You can go in and out of the garage right here. This is the way that you don't have to ever walk through the house again with dirty socks, dirty underwear, or ask if your dirty socks or dirty underwear have been washed. You can go right from the closet into the laundry. And that is an item that people have bought this house just because of, I feel, in some cases. So let's go look at the other couple of bedrooms. And rather than go back through here, let's go back out the master way. And this will give you a good idea. You never got it from that corner, so you can take a look from that corner over to here. See, we get you all four corners of the room, not always one in a row, one at a time. But okay, come right around. You've seen the dining room. You've seen the kitchen. You've seen the beautiful high ceiling with the vault, as we talked about. These, by the way, are LEDs. We do a lot of LEDs. You can see how we added just a little extra layer where that white is, a little extra layer where that white is, to kind of give you a little bit of, we have never done that in the house before. This is the first time we're doing that. We've repeated that over here, a little extra layer here. And just from a decorating point of view, I'm going to close this door. And the black bean color, you see how that kind of goes right with the whole door? How it just all blends into one. I love that. And it kind of imitates itself in the area right above the fireplace. You don't want to use that a lot and very heavy, but there you are. And how it's kind of brought in again with the doors here. Now this is the kids' bedroom hallway. And we can do this as 3 bedrooms here. We can do this as a den in 2 bedrooms where you have an entrance into the den off of here. We've done this house as a custom home where that small pocket office has been 12 feet by 12 feet with a closet. So it becomes a den off of that foyer. So you can do so much with it, and I do encourage you to strike boredom and let me do something different for your house, okay? Because I have no problem with change. Some people do, but not with change on architecture. Come on in this room. This is an area where I'm hanging a lot of the homes now. I'm starting to hang up some of my artwork that I've done on homes before. If you step a little closer over here, we can design a castle for you, which is a design that never got built, but it got darn close. We could design, there's an interior space, a ranch that happened to have an upstairs loft. Maybe some of you have seen that before. Here's our MyPad homes. The MyPad homes are, this was under 1,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It fit a piano in the great room. This is a new contemporary. This is an older design that we've had. Here's a house that looks like that on the front. This is what it looked like in the backyard. We had a flooding patio. This was in the Parade of Homes 2010. There's one of my initial drawings, sand beach, flooding patio, walls, and outdoor cabana where it had a bathroom and a bed in it. This is a live-work place I did where you were able to have places to live on the top and places to work on the bottom. It had sloping land. This was the front side that faced a residential street. Went on this side. Different things we've done. Here's some different designs and all around the room. We don't have to look at the whole room anymore, but if you stand in this room, this corner over there, you'll see that this room is about 12 by 11 and a half without grabbing out my tape measure. There's a closet in this corner. On the other side of here was that closet in the foyer. We put the TV connections up. The bed in this corner over here would be the preferred spot. Try to create them. As you've seen, I'm very conscious of furniture. So I designed this for a queen-size bed. Designed the dresser spot over there. Look at the windows. I don't know if you can see that real well. This is one of those guerrilla video things where we haven't done much to block this out, but this is a great spot. Pets love this. It's just like a patio door. They can go up, they can go down. You can let the cat in and cat out. You can let the dog in, dog out. But you know how they love to sit on the ground and watch? This is just a nice look, don't you think? And over here, this is touching the ground too. So this is a flush floor. We save a little money on baseboards. Not really. You actually pay a little more. You have to go in and out and do some different odd things to make that happen. But you look at what we're doing with our corners around the doors here, how we've got the little round and square together. which makes great sense. If you ever use it on a corner going from one room to another that's a different color, you can just stop right on the square. You don't have to stop in the middle of the round. This is a bathroom that's really hard to catch on video. I like this bathroom a lot because it was a challenge. It's a small bathroom. If I want to fit a towel cabinet in here and a vanity and drawers, and it doesn't work unless you really space things out right. So if you look over here, this is a very popular color called Ribbons from Formica brand, and but it's just a really cool color. We have a drawer cabinet here. I'm going to trade places with you over here if you could go in that general direction. Okay, that's a good spot to get it. You can see how I did a towel cabinet. It's up high here. Left a spot here for your garbage can. And lets your eye visually see that the room is a little wider. I did widen the room by an extra foot. Instead of being 5 feet wide, the room is 6 feet wide. That allowed me to push the toilet away from the front of the tub to make the tub a little more accessible. Put this over the top. This could be taken off if you ever really needed to get in there to do any work and you need to get your head in there. The mirror over the entire length instead of just over the sink. The sink area is only 2 feet wide. This would be considered tiny, and it just works because this is so much longer that your eye carries this and says, oh, I can put cups and things over here and my toiletries. And the mirror over the whole wall makes the room really go large. Then an alcove over here for what have you. We could have made this much taller if we wanted to, but when you come in here, we want your eye to go past this and see the whole thing. So I just think it's a nice thing. And by the way, looking at the floor, take a look at this floor. This is, again, just a sheet vinyl, but it looks as good as anything I've seen in a much pricier product. So there we are. Enough on the bathroom. Let's go over this way. By the way, we will do a short 1 or 2 minute version of this house so you can get a quick tour of that. There's a difference in this room. Do you notice it? Yes, it has bedroom furniture in it. That's one difference. But look at the ceiling height. The other room was 8 feet high. This is 9 feet high. You can see the windows a little bit bigger. Remember, we're on the back of the house now, so you get a good backyard view here. And let's go in the 4 corners. Closet over here. Fireplace is right here, by the way, on the other side of here. Go in that corner over there if you would. You notice we have the clipped corners here. Again, it's about the same size as the other room, but it feels bigger. You have more volume to it because you have a taller ceiling. Angle here, going past the fireplace here. This is going past that built-in nook for the towel cabinet that was raised up. We're using some of the negative space here to fit that towel cabinet. It's probably within a ½ inch of the back corner between this drywall and there. So, yeah. Hard stuff to follow. Sometimes even I have trouble with myself following that. So come on down. Let's go take a look at the last area, the basement. Now you stay up there for a moment while I go to the bottom. Try to create different environments in a house. A lot of times our clients will tell us they just want the same color of woodwork throughout. Happy to accommodate, but you can see that we did some of the bedrooms in white, some of the other rooms in white laundry, but did the dark coffee in the rest of the home. So here we're transitioning to pretty much all coffee down here. Look at what the stairs are doing as you come down. You're on a 4-foot stairs, but it will fan out to a 6-foot wide stair. And to show you that, I'm going to go back up a little bit. You can follow me up. Okay, there you are. So, starts 4 feet wide, step a couple steps back, and you'll see me stepping down into the 6-foot direction. Isn't that nice? And that's done not just because, oh, isn't that cool? It is cool. But if this was ever going to be a stair lift for a chairlift, you'd then be able to put the chairlift on one long flat wall. To do them both curved, which I've done too, makes that a little difficult to do. But it suggests to you, architecturally, what direction to go to. If I just come straight, you start going like this at the bottom of the stairs. Which way should I go? This is telling you subliminally this is the way to go. So we turn this way right away and stand there and just kind of take in the size of the room that this is. And while you're I'm going to press the menu button here and see if I can get it to play. Let's see. Play, play, play. Here we are. So This is the rec room, if you haven't guessed. Non-exposed. On our other video, I think we have an exposed one, walkout here. 8-foot ceiling, but take a look. We've done nothing on the ceiling that hangs down. We don't have any pipes, we don't have any anything hanging down here that suggests that this is the basement. You don't have a post in the middle of the room. We've reserved that for being in the walls in certain strategic areas. This room is huge. It's bigger than the great room because it goes into some of the space directly above it that would have been in the great room, but also in the master bedroom slightly where the bar is. So if you come over in this direction, let's start down here. This is a theater wall. Could you guess? This is a 65-inch sharp theater screen, and a few years old. But you could hang a screen on here. You could certainly put a much bigger screen on here. The mechanics tube, or a chase tube for future wires technologies in case they go to something else besides standard TV wiring, is going through the wall, underneath the concrete floor, and all the way to a cabinet in back by the bar. Okay, so that way you can change to some sort of other technology, Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 8, Cat 20, whatever comes in. Here we have something, kind of step a little closer for this. This design is sort of the obvious giant in the room here, right? You can see this has a little bit of a groove in it here. This is a glossy paint. Actually, it's a Sherwin-Williams gloss paint. I think this is called French Roast. And here is a white color that is not pushed in. Okay, this one's in, this one is not. This one down here is not. But if you go over to here, this one is pushed in. That one is not, this one is not, this one is. There's a groove in here. So that's, again, a detail item that does cost a little bit of money to do. Not a lot, but a little bit more to do. And that gives you the ability to just get some different flavor in the textures of the wall. If you're here in person, you could kind of see that after a while. It's a great detail. We're mixing from flats to satins to glosses in each one of these color squares, so that or each one of these color triangles, so that you're able to get a nice look to that. Now you could put LED tape that would go in those 3 grooves. You can even get chaser tapes, I understand, and have them slow chasing away from the screen. You could put those in more areas, but I think sometimes it gets a little boring to do the same thing. You can see how we repeated it over here. This is one of those curtain walls, kind of a nod to what we did upstairs, where we have the frame, looks like a big picture frame, and this is kind of visually extended through. We're doing the same over here. You can see how this kind of picks up on that stripe and comes through here. I just think it looks pretty nice, don't you? This is a different feel down here. It's a little bit darker colors. We don't have any windows down here, except for, you'll see in a moment, in the bedroom. This area here is specifically made for pool table. People will ask, well, why do we have this indentation here? Well, 2 reasons. Number one, it looks better to break up a really long wall with some sort of an art inset or bookcases. But number 2, if you're going to do a pool table, and a lot of people do pool tables, you need to have 5 feet of Q-swing room on each side, 7-foot table. So 17 feet is a really good dimension to have this way. And 13 feet is a great dimension to have that way. So you step on over here, take a look from that direction. You can see the length, just that extra foot, is going to mean the difference between you having a pool table down here or not. And I'm always thinking about the next person buying the product. This is the same width as a pool table. It's obviously not the same length as a 7-foot pool table. And we've created our space here. We've also created, let me step over in that direction. I want to keep it interesting here visually. So I have a little bit more space here than I do on that side, because I'm going to have people sitting here, maybe spun around and looking at the game, and you don't want them to have to move every time that somebody tries to put their cue stick in that area. Now, if you don't have a pool table and you don't care about it, air hockey table, ping pong table, an eating table. It's a table area, one way or the other. 5 seats here. Again, love the wood effect. Maybe I've just seen so much glossy granite over the last several years that But this will easily seat 5 stools. Look at the flooring. This flooring is, again, a sheet vinyl, but it is done and looks great. You can see the space we have back here and all the lighting we have. Goodness gracious. Back here, step around to the back side here. Here we have a drawer, and down here we have some things. Those are the 2 tubes sticking out of the ground that one feeds all the way back to there, and one of those tubes and wiring and things that are in here is where the audio items would go. Goes back to this, because this is a 2 TV room. If you put a ball game on, you want to have it on both sides, people at the bar watching this way, or if you want to have a Christmas special there and put the ball game on here, or vice versa. So here we have a back bar, and here we have a big area to put cases of soda and beer and beverages and things. So you have some cabinets underneath here. These are actually wall cabinets that we've repurposed. Put them off the floor here so that we can use these 42-inch high cabinets. There you see how that's off the floor, so you can clean under it nice and easy. And a refrigerator area over here. So if people are coming in to just get a drink out of the refrigerator, they don't have to walk in front of everybody who's watching the TV. Does that make sense? So we don't always do that, but that makes sense. But here we are. Square corner, round corner on the traffic and the non-traffic. You could put a refrigerator cabinet up in here. We've made this just about 36 inches wide. Look at the enclosure here, how we're doing this square archway. How the square archway gives you a nice sconce lamp here, and it's kind of created this nice space, and it gives you a repeat of that over here, this square archway. Now this is an interesting sort of an idea. Stay there for a minute. You can see how when you're coming down the stairs, you're going to be carrying in boxes for storage. All right, and I want to keep you not having to go through the main area to get to your storage area. Carrying through stuff to integrate through your finished area, to me, never really works. Normally in this house, this would be a flat wall and a door. Still looks fine. Less expensive to do it that way. But this is what I call a doorless storage area. You know, when you ever try to carry a couch or anything big, boxes, through a doorway, even if it's 3 feet wide, it's a doorway. You've got to go through it. This is much easier to carry stuff through. It looks like an art gallery. You'd put a bunch of photos up here. I just have a mirror and a bench here, but this would really be a great gallery area. When you come in here, you'll see that you're going to see some unfinished areas, because this is your access to your storage area. So you can go in this direction, or you can go in the other direction. But let's go in this direction first. Take a look at the amount of storage we have in here. We're using 2x12 Douglas fir floor joists because they don't burn in a fire as quickly as 15 minutes. A house that has TJI floor joists will collapse and burn and cause death and injury potential. I can get my soapbox on that for half hour more, but let's just say that this is the way to go. And if you care about fire, care about your family, don't build with particle board TJI floor joists that everybody else in town is building with. Just because they used asbestos and everybody used it didn't make it right, right? Okay, so we've got lights down here. This is a door knockout. You notice how we've got a space here for a header. So if I took out this piece, and this piece, I could then come right in here, cut open the drywall. We have a door. I could put a wall here, and this could be another room. So if you needed another room, an exercise room perhaps, and who doesn't, this would be a good spot for it. So down in the other direction, by the way, your mechanics are back here. You'll notice how we kept our furnace centralized in the home so that it's going down basically the center of the home. We're able to bridge off in both directions, keeping the actual unit fairly central. Will give it a very energy efficient house. You're going to get a lot of easy airflow that way. You're not going to have so much in one room that's not going to get the flow because you've kept things in a good central position. Can't always do that, but where possible. You look at the track lights up here, so that we're really getting a lot of light on this wall. So this wall could be a great gallery wall. In the other direction here, a little storage area. And this storage area, you're seeing another thing that we've done. This is an extra that some builders will put in a rough-in the floor for your drains for a future bathroom. There's a future toilet, future shower over there, future sink in the other direction. We're actually framing it in because that way the people who are building the house, the carpenters, the electricians, the people putting in the furnaces and the heating and HVAC items, plumbing, they all know where everything goes. They know not just to go through this area because it's going to make it harder for the owner down the road 1 year, 5 years, 20 years from now to build that bathroom here. So we're trying to think those things through. Does that cost a little more? Yes, it does. Is it worth it? Yes, it is, I think anyway. And you would too if you ever wanted to build a bathroom in your basement. So when you come to the bottom of the stairs, in that direction we have the storage with that kind of a gallery area. In this direction, of course, the stairs is leading you into the great room. In this direction straight ahead, there is that future bathroom. And it is quite a big future bathroom. You might not have gathered it from the other view, but stay there at the door for a moment. And I'll go way over here. Really long, 13, 14 feet. Spot here for a tub or a shower, 5 feet wide. And spot here, now you can come in, spot here for the toilet, kind of around the corner. And if you step over here in that direction, not too far, because I want to show you the sink area. We have the sink area, maybe over there. And you notice how I've set that back in because I'm imagining how beautiful this will look in the future to have a stack of shelves on each side for visual and to have this insetting in the middle for your vanity. You could just go whole length vanity, as most people will do, but if you're building one of these homes, remember that was why I designed it this way, was to put your piece in the middle. This isn't a major bathroom where it gets a lot of use of a countertop. It gets a small amount of use for countertop. You could even do a pedestal sink here and get these two side pieces that have the open shelves with your towels in it and have some drawers down below. Beautiful. Two doors going into this room. One door here and the other door here. Because this door, we'll take the other way around on this. This door goes into our last room of the house. And I'm going to close the future bathroom door. And so you're coming down the stairs. Already talked about the various rooms. This is the future, or is the bedroom at this point. So come on in the bedroom. There's a little bit of a privacy hallway there. And the privacy hallway is nice because you're not looking into the room. You get the privacy. Let me change places with you right here. Here, you go over here. I'll go over there into the privacy hallway. All right, door is wide open. I'm in the hallway right now. You're not seeing me, I'm not seeing you until I walk into the privacy hallway. You've got the square archway going again. And let's stand in that corner. And I'll go over in this corner. Can you tell that these are orange chairs from that angle? They are quite bright orange chairs. So here you have a really big room. This room could easily become an exercise room, or it could become whatever, you know, an office. Stand in that corner over there. It could become a bedroom for two. It could has a queen size in here now. I just have this alcove here. Again, if money was completely no object, I'd put some lights up in here, some track lights so it would shine. What I've done here is sort of just a light in the corner, a shop light type thing, LED. But it gives you an idea of the room space. And here we have this beautiful egress window, which needs a little bit of cleaning out on it, but the fiberglass, it looks like stone. And this room is about, I'm going to say at least 12 feet, maybe 13 feet wide this way, and probably about 15 feet wide to this wall. There's one more area in this room. This was the door that goes into the bathroom. So, in the future, if you ever wanted to make this into a suite, you'd be able to go into the bathroom this way. And the last room we have here, not much of a grand room to end it on, but this is a doorless closet. So if you're coming into the room, let's go back out there again. You're coming into the room and you're coming in this direction. Come on in. We have about 8 feet of hanging that you'll never see, but you don't have to deal with the door coming in and out. It's always hidden unless you're in the closet. So doorless closets, just like in a movie theater where you walk into the bathrooms, you don't see the interior of the bathroom until you walk around the wall. Same concept. So reverse course in this direction. For no other reason than to show you some kind of a shot besides a closet when we end this thing. So here we are, we're back in our beautiful room here, and until next time, This is Tom Hignite, thanking you for coming along. Build